Hey friends, this is Ifa. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to set up my July bullet journal setup, and this is going to be a strawberry theme. Basically, I'm aiming to go with a strawberry farm theme, even though I'm not going to draw any farm or anything very bold. My plan is to go with a very simple illustration in the cover page, even though I'm going to use some techniques to make it look realistic, and I think it turned out pretty good, so I'm excited to share this with you. For the cover page, I'm making an illustration with a lot of strawberries, leaves, and flowers of strawberries, and it's coming through a Polaroid. That's what I am visualizing here. So there is a lot of techniques that I have to go through to make this illustration a little bit realistic. So let's begin. I'm using 5 Tombow brush pen to create the strawberries here. Basically, there are going to be 2 types of strawberries, as you can see, and I'm going to make one strawberry a bit lighter but vibrant and another one a bit darker. To create that, I need 5 colors here. So basically, there is 2 base colors. One is a little bit orangey reddish color and another one is Chinese red color. To create a realistic strawberry, I am using the base color first. I am coloring out the whole strawberry as I've sketched. I left a little bit of white space so that I can create a highlight effect on the strawberry. I also have given a very light strokes within the white part so that I can blend out with a lighter shade, and here I'm using a warm pink tone so that I can blend it out with the strawberry color, which is the base color here. Since I'm not gonna do any outlines to make it realistic, I'm going to use some dark red colors or maroon colors to make it look realistic, and I need to do some shadows here as well. So here I'm using a little bit darker colors from those red 2 colors so that I can make very deep shadows here. And as you can see, I have concentrated on the left side to make shadows and the right side is dedicated to the highlights. Here I have colored 4 strawberries in the top, but there are some strawberries behind as well, so I'm going to use the darkest red color to create the background first as a base of the background strawberries. Then I am using the maroon shade to create some darker shadows so that I can separate the background from the foreground strawberries. To draw out the seeds, I need to go with the darkest red color here to create some deep shadows, and then I'm using my Sakura Jelly Roll pen to create the seeds on the top. Here you can also use acrylic paint pen, you can use yellow as well, but here I have my gel pen which is very thin, so I'm going to use it, and my acrylic paints are very bold, so I don't want to use that here. Here I have also added a bit of shadows after I created these seeds with my white jelly roll pen. So it's basically you have to think how you can make it look more realistic. So I hope that makes sense to you what I'm doing here. Basically here I have also added backgrounds in the top as well. Initially I didn't want to use any red color to the background, but later I thought as I'm making this little bit realistic, I need to focus on the detail here as well. So I've used the red and the maroon color to create all the backgrounds. And also you can use any other colors that you want if you don't like to create this sort of detail work, but I think the strawberries are pretty easy if you are following my tutorial here. So that's the strawberry part, and here I am using another brush pen which is in color 126 to create the leaves. And here as you can see, this is the base color of all of the leaves, and later I'm going to create some shadows with 177, which is a little bit darker green. So here as you can see, my concentration was only on the strawberries to make it look realistic, and here I am just only trying to create the base color first, then I am just coloring out the edges and the middle as well. But here I only focused on one technique, which is basically to create rounder strokes on the leaves, if you can see it. For the flowers of the strawberries, I'm using a very light gray color to create the flowers shadows because I need to make it look white. But here, if I don't use any shadows into this flower, it's not going to look realistic, and rather it's going to look very flat. Here I also used my fine liner, which is the Sakura Pigment Micron in size 005, to outline the flowers here so that it looks a little bit pop out from the background illustration. And I also used it for the Polaroid outline as you can see here. And that's all for this illustration in the Polaroid, but later I needed to do something extra. I initially wanted to make a farm, kind of strawberry farm theme, so here I'm adding this stamp from a organic strawberry farm, which I thought in my head, and I tried my best to create a seal kind of doodle here with my marker, which is not very ideal, to be honest. You can use crayons for this, but I didn't want to use any crayons at the moment. I'm using a yellow pencil brush pen to create the header of this month, which is July, and I also added a ombre effect on the lettering. I used a chrome yellow color to create that effect, and I also used gray brush pen to create the shadows underneath. So that's it for this whole cover page, and I also used the yellow color and some green to create some sparkles here and there. So that's for the cover page. The next spread that I'm making is my dashboard spread, and I think it's one of my favorites so far because I kind of making my bullet journal very short and minimal recently. Minimal as in less spread, not like in doodles or illustrations. Here I'm making like 3 things. One is task, contents, like I'm going to plan out my contents here, then habits, and I'm going to use 4 habit tracker to track out my habits, which I am currently focusing on. I was using the colors that I chose for the illustration to create the outlines of each habit tracker, but I was really disturbed with the color choice here. I always go with little bit pastel or lighter shade from the chosen colors for the illustration so that it doesn't look too overbold, but here I kind of used the same colors, and I think it neither looked that bad or that good, to me at least. To finishing up this spread, I'm going to use some stickers which are exclusive to my patrons. That means the members of my Patreon page. And if you don't know, I have a Patreon page where I post journaling kits, sticker sheets, calendars, wallpapers every month, and also my patrons get these exclusive stickers to their door. There are 4 tiers right now, and in only tier you get this exclusive stickers. These are basically the rewards from May. That means the patrons who were in my only tier in May are getting this, and if you want to get this, you need to be my patron, but you can get them in my secret shop, which is basically a password protected section in my shop, and all of my patrons have that password, and there you'll get all these stickers that I made for my patrons exclusively for some certain amount of time. So if you want to get them, it's the time, otherwise they might be disappeared from my shop as well. So that's the thing, and here I'm making my dashboard spread look beautiful with these stickers. I'm really bad at collaging things, but I think I did a good job here to create this whole spread. So if you think that I need to improve, let me know. What do you think? I used the chrome color and green color Tombow Dual brush pen, which has this fine liner tip as well. So I used that to create all the details around the pages to make it look whimsical a little bit. The next spread that I'm making is basically my monthly log, and I'm going to follow the same exact monthly log calendar with my weekly planner. That means a task planner for weekly based and I'm going to make that exactly the same way that I made in June. If you're new, let me explain this a little bit. I'm making a large calendar with 7 columns and 5 rows, including 5 by 5 grid for each day. And also to decorate it a bit, I have outlined it with a very light sage green color. In this spread, basically, I kind of make an overview of my entire month. Basically, in the calendar, I write the important tasks and events so that I can recall everything at once when I flip through or use this spread. Besides this calendar layout, I am going to make a weekly planner. That means a task list that dedicated to every week. Along with that calendar, it makes very easier to go through my tasks. As I always start my weeks from Sunday, I need to create the calendar like this, and I have 4 days like the days from the previous month in this week, and I always try to include them so that I can go with the flow of the weekly schedules, but I need to cancel out the days so that I can recall myself that it's not in the month. So yeah, and I use this very light beige color here to create these strap lines on that space. While creating this spread, I'd like to tell you what I'm up to in this month. Basically, I have a lot of clips and drafts to edit it out to make a video for YouTube. And I'm kind of slacking off a little bit and I'm behind my schedule. It's getting really chaotic in my head because I do have a lot of things to do. Like I have to prepare a lot of things for shop update, then make pattern printables and exclusive designs, and then I have to go through all the edit stuffs. So it's getting very chaotic and I'm getting unmotivated because I have a lot to do. As I make planner contents, it's basically not that good at organizing planning because it's very difficult for me, so that's why I am not that active, and it's been happening for years. So I don't know how to overcome all of these things because creative work comes from motivation, and when I slack of motivation, it really gives me a lot of headache to go through everything. Anyways, let's move back to this setup. Here I'm using these stickers that I made for my patrons that I've already showed you to make it look cohesive with the other colors and illustrations. I don't have too much spaces here to draw, so I use these smaller stickers with a lot of details, and I think this is one of my favorite stickers, like the exclusive stickers that I made. I also added a header in the top with a red, that Chinese red color from Tombow dual brush pen. I tried to add a little bit of shadows in this calligraphy font, but it doesn't look that good, like it doesn't even show up, so I just didn't bother much to create this shadow anymore. It's a very subtle shadows, and I'm using some washi tapes from my own shop and paper monogatari to fill up the empty spaces here. So that's for my calendar page, and I'm going to forward to my next spread, which is basically a weekly spread. Weekly spread is basically a spread where I write all the tasks every day, and I always make a simple layout go with the tasks that I want to write here every day, and I almost use it every day whenever I need to plan something. Sometimes I don't make any weekly spread because I think sometimes the monthly calendar comes weekly planner do the work, or if I'm just doing simple one task, I kind of don't use any weekly spread sometimes, and I fill it out with thoughts here and there. Even though I do have a journal for my daily writings, I somehow kind of filled it up with my thoughts. So that's the thing. And here for the layout, I'm using the green color to create the box along with the chrome yellow color here. I don't want to use any red to make it look too much bolder. I'm gonna use the stickers which has the red and other colors, so I don't have to think to make it look cohesive. Here in the right column, I'm making a mini calendar along with a title. Also, I'm going to create a task list for that week if I do have a huge task to do, like if I'm making something, like if I'm going through a shop update, I kind of list all the tasks in one place, then I separate the tasks on the daily basis. And sometimes I do plan in the night, but basically I write all my tasks after I wake up, because I think sometimes it depends on the mood that what I want to do. Like as I do all the creative stuff, I need motivation to create something. Sometimes I really don't feel to pressurize myself to create something which I don't want to do that. And so that's why I plan out every morning. So that's the whole layout, and here I'm using some stickers like this basket with strawberries in it. It looks really cute in my opinion. I'm very much happy with the illustrations that I made. So also, to fill up the empty spaces, I'm using the individual strawberry stickers here and there, and that's the whole weekly spread. We are almost in the end in this video, and here comes the final flip through. But I'd like to tell you that if you're my patron from Oswald tier or the higher tiers, you're going to get the cover page illustration in real time, so that you can go along with the every details that I made here, and you can also ask me anything that you want. So that's it for this whole video. I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and comment with a strawberry and leaf emoji to let me know that you have watched till the end. So that's it. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.